everyone, and welcome once again to Caleb Likes Books. Today I have my TBR for the month of July 2025, almost said June. Last month, my reading went super well, got through several books, and I had a great time with all of them, pretty much. So this month, I am also having a little bit ambitious of a TBR. Not all of them are as short as the books that I read last month, so I may not get to all of these. I think there's a higher chance that I won't get to all of these than there was last month, but I really tried to whittle down the books that I wanted to read this month. I have 7 books. I think I also had 7 or 8 last month. And I tried to whittle it down, and I just couldn't take anything else off because I was really wanting to read all of these this month if I can. Don't know if I will. Anything that I don't get to will probably just get pushed into August or September or something. But yeah, really wanted to read, I just wanted to keep all of these on here. So if I don't get to them, then I don't get to them, but at least I can choose from a whole bunch that I really want to read. So we'll see how that goes. So first things first, the first book that I want to read is actually a holdover from last month that I just didn't have time to get to, which is Batman the Killing Joke, which is a novelization of the comic book of the same name. So it's not the comic version, it's the novel version. I already talked about this one last month, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it. Really curious to see how it goes, and I thought about pushing this off to September just because I had, August rather, just because I have so much else on my TBR, but I really want to read it, so that's probably going to be the first thing that I go for this month. Another book on my TBR is going to be my first book that I am reading from Baen Books. They have been sending me their new releases for a couple months now, and I've received a few of their other books as well, and I've been trying to figure out which one I wanted to read first. And I just had so much other stuff that I wanted to read that I just haven't gotten around to one of theirs yet, but one of their new releases I think was from June that I was very interested in and decided I'm going to read it in July, which is Rise from Ruin by Melissa Olthoff. This one just kind of piqued my interest based on the premise of it being kind of a dragon rider story, except the dragon rider ends up riding a griffin instead. So I thought it sounded interesting. I really like the cover. And I've heard good things about it, so I am really excited to read that, and I'm just excited to be able to start reading some of Baen Books. I want to try to get into the swing of reading some more of their stuff in the future, so we'll see how that goes, but I am going to try to make that a little bit more of a priority going forward. But I figured this would be a good one to start with, so I'm excited to read that one. The next book I have is a self-published book that was also sent to me. I want to kind of try to read some more of the self-pub books that have been getting sent to me. So this one is going to be Nightmare Arcanist, which is the first book in the Frith Chronicles. This one was sent to me, I think early this year. I just haven't had a chance to get to it yet. So figured I should probably get to it soon. So I figured I'd put it on my TBR this month. And curious to check out this one as well. It seems very intriguing to me. I've heard some pretty good things about it. And of course it was sent to me, so I want to try to read it at some point. So I figured I would try to read it this month sometime. So thank you very much to the author for sending this to me. I appreciate it a lot. I believe it was Shammy Stovall. Took me a minute to remember her name, but really excited to read that, though I'm hoping I'll enjoy it. The premise seems interesting to me, so I think if all goes well, I will enjoy that one. Next few books, I've got some pretty heavy hitters in terms of authors and in terms of series, so I'm excited about all of these as well. First things first, I have my Star Wars book that I am planning to read this month, which is going to be Death Star, I believe by Michael Reeves, and Steve Perry might have done this as well, or it might have just been one of them, I can't remember. But this is one that I've been looking forward to reading because I have a friend named Nazo, shout out to him, who has been telling me that this was a really good book, so I'm excited to read it. And also I'm going to be reading this with my friend Jonathan Cohn. He's getting close to finishing up all of the EU books, which is super awesome. And we decided we were both going to read this sometime this summer, so we decided to both buddy read it in July. So looking forward to reading this one. I hope I enjoy it. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about this book, even though it's kind of one that doesn't get a whole lot of attention. So I'm hoping that I will have a good time with it. The next book on my TBR is going to be the next Dune book, which is Children of Dune. I read Dune Messiah last month and I loved it. I don't know if I loved it more than the first Dune book, but I definitely loved it on a similar level. I had a really good time with it and it made me very excited to continue with the series. I've heard past the first Dune book, people tend to be kind of mixed on the rest of them. So I'm going to go into this with somewhat tempered expectations of maybe I won't love it, but where I loved Messiah, I'm hoping I do enjoy this one, and I'm very excited to read it coming off of Dune Messiah, which I really, really liked. So looking forward to reading that one. So I'm curious to see what I'll think of that, considering the kind of reputation that the various different Dune books have. The next thing on the list is probably from what I would guess is the biggest author on this list, which is Stephen King. I'm going to be reading his book, The Eyes of the Dragon, this month. This one I got earlier this year, and I've been wanting to read it ever since, and I've been very intrigued to read it because it seems like Stephen King doesn't write a ton of fantasy, especially like this, where it seems to be a little more traditional fantasy. Ever since I got it, I was like, I want to read it sometime this month. I'm planning to read some more of his stuff later in the year, that's probably going to be like The Stand or It or something, which those are some chunky books. So I figured, this summer I can throw in Eyes of the Dragon, which is a super quick book. I've been looking forward to reading that one. Seems very different from his other stuff, so I'm curious to check it out. I think pretty much everything else of his that I've read would be classified as horror, at least in part. So it'll be interesting to read something that is in a very different direction. And this is one that doesn't seem to get as much attention from people as well, so I'm hoping that maybe this will be a little bit of a hidden gem for me. Now that I've read some of his big books, now I can read something that's a little bit lesser known of his, or at least less appreciated. So curious to check that out and really looking forward to it. The last book on my TBR is one that I have been looking forward to for a very long time. I read the first book in this series, I think about 2 years ago. May have been 3, no, I think it was 2 years ago. I'm pretty sure it was 2 years ago. And it was one of my favorite books of that year, and that is Hunger of the Gods by John Gwynne, the second book in his Bloodsworn trilogy. I got this book for Christmas of last year, and I also very soon thereafter purchased The Fury of the Gods, the third book, which I'm hoping I might be able to slot in sometime at the end of the year so I can finish that trilogy by the end of the year. But I loved Shadow of the Gods, the first book. It was one of my favorite books that I read in 2023. I think I read it in 2023. One of my favorite books I read that year. I loved it. I had a blast with it all the way through, and I have ever since then been really wanting to get to this one, but I was never able to get it until this last Christmas. And since Fury of the Gods was pretty new at that time, I was able to get my hands on that one as well. So really looking forward to this one. Loved the first book, so I'm super excited. And I've heard just amazing things about every single book in this trilogy, so I am fully expecting that I will enjoy it. And I think once I read these and hopefully read more of John Gwynne's stuff, he seems like an author that I will really enjoy. So hopefully I can get my hands on like his other series as well that I can't remember the name of, like the one with like Malice and the other books that I can't remember. But really looking forward to this one anyway, and hopefully I'll enjoy it. So that's pretty much it for this video. Let me know in the comments if you have read any of the books on my TBR this month, and if so, what you thought of them, or if there's anything here that you're interested in reading in the future, or anything here that you're interested to hear my thoughts on. And if you have anything that you are planning to read this month that is pretty cool, then leave that down in the comments as well. I'd love to hear from you. So that's pretty much it for this video. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.